Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well and I hope your week's going well. Now today I thought I'd come in and show you a wreath design. As you know, I just adore wreath designs. There's something about them. But also a few of you have been in touch and said that you got the stamp and spin tool for Christmas and you could do with a bit of practice with it. And I adore using this bit of kit. So that way I can show you a wreath, which I love. We can have a bit of a catch up. I can show you the stamp and spin, and I've got a couple of the new stamps as well. So we've got this lovely new stamp range called Herbs and Delights, and there's so much you can do with these. And what I love with this sort of thing is that we can mix old stamps with new. Now I purposely haven't put a sentiment on here because I think this would make a lovely emergency card. I could turn it into an anniversary card, a special birthday card. Now, I've added some butterflies. Now, again, it might be that you want it without the butterflies. You might want to add decoupage some of the flowers. But again, I'm hoping this will really get those crafty juices flowing, give you lots of ideas. And you know what? I'm more than happy if you go, Jo, not keen on butterflies, but I'm going to decoupage some of my flowers. See, it just gets you in that frame of mind. It might be you want to make a gorgeous little Lavinia scene in the middle. Again, so much you can do. I like the white space, but it might be you want to bring some inking in and then add those water splats for that faux bleaching. So many different ways you can go. I'm just going to bring it up so you can see we've got a little bit of the Stickles on there. And I'm going to be using a variety of our Versafine Clair coloured inks as well. So I'm going to get the stamp and spin in. So this is the stamp and spin tool. Very, very useful, very good piece of kit. And it can be used with its lid as just a normal stamp press. But I like the fact I can use this as a tool. Very easy to swap in and out, and I just keep a piece of copy paper there to protect it. And I've popped a piece of 7x7 Multifarious card in the middle. Now I've noticed my stamp and spin has a slight offset, so when I actually look at my finished design, the difference, if you look here, there's this stamping is slightly nearer to the edge than this here. But that doesn't worry me because I've just popped it this way. I've taken my ink a bit further up here, almost to disguise it. But if you want, you can offset your card before you start. It might just be my machine, but I think it is slightly off centre. But there's ways round it. You could just trim this. But for me, I've just added the ink and I'm happy with that. Do you know what? It's handcrafted, so... But anybody who wants to know, that's the way I get round it. So I find it easier. You could mark here a slight offset, but I'm just putting mine in the centre. Before I start as well, we have some little dots, and they're at the sort of 12 o'clock, 3, 6 and 9. And I just like to check that mine are in that position before we start. Now I'm going to start with our lovely Dill stamp, which is here. And I need mine to be clean to start off with. And I'm going to come in with Portobello ink. And again, we have got little grooves if you want to put your stamp straight on to give you different sizes on this lid. But I just tend to do mine by eye. It's just the way I work, and I like to take my stamp and just put it on and decide at the bottom here where I want it. So I could make a smaller wreath or a larger, and I'm going for about there, I'm thinking. So just going to pick that up, and then I'll just ink it off camera. Bring it round and stamp, a gentle press. Now I'm sorry, you will get a glare from my lamp here. Gentle press, lift up. If I'm not happy, I can stamp again. but I'm just going to ink up, and you can either ink up or move it first, it doesn't matter, and I alternate. Now I'm going to turn it round until it clicks, and mine has a slight bounce back, so stamp it again, lift it up, check it's stamped, again ink it up, and I'm just going to work my way round. You can go clockwise, anti-clockwise, but again look, it has that little bounce back, so again if that's something yours has, don't worry about it. Around till I feel it click, lift it up, and again I'm just going to go all the way around. And this is just the basis of the wreath, so it's just your starting point. And what I love about this is you can change this as it's going. You can decide how almost many stamps you want. So last one, and hopefully that will be just in there. Lovely. So I'm just going to clean my stamp. It's important I clean it before I lift it. And then the next stamp I'm going to use is the Thyme. Now with the Thyme, I'm going to use both of them. We have a larger and a smaller. And again, I'm going to pop them on here. You can put them on the lid if you wish. For me, I just find it easier to put them on here because I can sort of decide where I want them. And I'm thinking I could have them like that. Now, do I have them, maybe have them facing the same way? That might look better, mightn't it? So I think I'll go for there. And what's lovely about this is I never do the same design twice. It might be the same colours and the same stamps. This time, Golden Meadow. So ink up. Check its stamps. And all we're going to do is ink up and twist round again. Now it might be you want to speed up this bit, or it might be you're happy just spending time with me while we create. I must admit my mind does just wander when I'm doing this. It's just such a lovely thing to do. And don't worry if you get ink on the actual stamp and spin like I'm doing, because I'm trying to be quite speedy, it won't transfer onto my card. You can take your time, but I know I've got quite a bit of stamping to do. Right, twice more I think. And I love this Golden Meadow colour. Sort of a yellow, but almost a dirty yellow. And just looking at it now, they do remind me of fireworks. So, and look how that is just building up. So I'm going to put the lid on that ink. Again, wipe the lid and the stamps. So the next one we're going to use is Sage. So I'm going to get my Sage. And again, large one and a small one with these. And there's something about these are actually my favourite, but don't tell the others. So I'm going to look at my design and see. Now I've got a space here. So maybe the large Sage would look nice in there. And then maybe would the small one, Oh, maybe that could come off that way. Do you know what? We'll try that. Angle it that way. Oh, let's give it a go. Let's see. So this time we're going to come in with Verdant. So we're going to go on to greens for the sage. And Verdant's a nice light colour. So we'll start off with this one. Let's have a look. Oh, that's nice. And as I say, it just fills that gap. So once again, we can go round. Now this time I'm going to go round twice. Because you don't have to just do it every click. So if you notice, click, click, so that there'll be a gap. So same again, click, click, stamp. Now the reason I've done that is I'm just going to wipe that, give it a dry with my Inky Binky, and I'm going to come in with the darker green now. So that's the Spruce, and pop that in between. So if we ink it up with the Spruce, so this is a darker colour. And again, it just shows you a bit of variety. So that's where we just stamped last. So I'm going to do one click to get it in between. And then I'll carry on doing my 2 clicks. Does that make sense? So we should alternate then. So one would be where the light is that we've just done. And then another click onto the dark. And it's nice, this. Again, it just adds a bit of variety. So one click, and you can feel it, you can see it. 2 gives me that lovely gap. Ink up again. And if I look, 1 click would take me on to where the light green is. So 2 clicks, lift that up. And again, we'll give that a wipe. Such a fun thing to do. I mean, I've already decided what I'm doing before I start, but you can just literally build it up as you're going. So let me just lift this up for you to see. See, I think that's so pretty. So the next thing we're going to do is off the vine set. I've got this lovely leaf here and also got this gorgeous flower. So what I want to do is, well, there's 2 flowers. We'll do the flowers first and then the leaf. And again, I pop them on here. So I'm thinking large flower there, maybe small flower there. So pick them up. And this colour, I'm going to go for Hawthorne Rose. Now again, I can decide whether I want 1 or 2 clicks. So let's stamp the first one. And see. Oh, like that. Slight overlap there, but I like that. It's nice because nature does overlap. So I'll turn it once. I think that's too close. Let's do it twice. I think we'll go twice and see. Because we can always come back and add it, can't we? 1, 2. I don't want to overcook it with the flowers. 1, 2. Yeah, I think that's enough. So I'm going to give that a clean, because what I'm thinking is we can come in with that lovely heart-shaped, and sorry, I'm running out of room here, with this lovely heart-shaped leaf, and I'm thinking that would look nice there to build up that lovely pattern. And this time, charming pink, quite a bright pink, which is why I'm thinking I don't want too much of it. So that there, Yeah, I'm thinking. So now we're at the stage where we're almost looking at the overall shape and gaps. Now one there, look, would take me right on top of that rose, and I don't want that. So we're doing the 2 clicks with this. Ink it up. 1, 2. Yeah, I think that's just going to be the right amount. It's all about getting the balance. You know me, we don't want to overcook it, and we don't want any pizzas where it looks like we've just got far too much topping. No, I like that. I'm happy with that. So, going to take that off there now and file this on the floor next to Mr. Eric. There's not a lot of room down here now. So I'm just going to give that a blot because I've used my Versafine Clair slower drying ink. And again, for me, if I show you, there's just a slight wee difference in that space there and that space there. But I think if I put that way, I'm happy with that. Oh, actually, I might put it... Oh, you see now, I could make you dizzy, couldn't I? No, I think I'm going that way. And I'm going to come in with a little bit of lime punch. Now, it might be you want to leave yours at this stage, in which case, happily leave it. You might like the white space. It's quite nice to see, maybe make a couple, one with and one without. But I just want to add a little bit of colour, just sort of give a bit more depth. And again, lightly hold on to your stencil brush and just tickle it. And if there's any bits you're not keen on, you can just extend that design so it will get a nice balanced shape. And the illusion, now I just think for me, I like that. So this was lime punch, circular motions. Yep, don't need any more than that. And I'm going to add some butterflies. So if I just show you, I keep all my offcuts of card because, you know, we're crafters and we keep everything, don't we? And we want to make sure we use them. So what I tend to do, and this is the mini Flutter, and you'll be glad to know I've already stamped 8 and I've cut them out, but I will just show you. So I would stamp all 8 on there, but as I say, I'll just do 1 because otherwise you really don't want me to see me stamp 8. And I've coloured them. So I've stamped 4 in the green in the Spruce and 4 in the Portobello. And the Spruce ones, I've gone for pink. No, Portobello, I went for pink. And I'll tell you the colours, and I go in groups of 3, as you know, and I've chosen 27 dark pink, 200 almond pink, and 202 peach pink. And just to remind you, that's the finished pink, and we've got the green with this lovely yellows. So I'll show you a quick tip of how I colour them, and this is just me cheating again. So we've got 52 bright yellow, 50 yellow, and 72 beige. And I will put all the numbers, everything will be listed underneath. So if you miss that, really easy, darker colour in the middle. Next, mid colour, going over the darker, and then just to blend. And then my lighter colour, it just come from the outside in and blend. So again, start at the edges and then blend in. And I just find it gives me almost a lovely ombre of that colour, dark to light, and they blend beautifully. And if you want a little bit more pizzazz, you can just add a little bit more dark in the middle. And look at that. And it's so quick and easy. And if you want to come over the top and do some wink of colouring, just bring in your clear wink of Stella over the top. Just clean that brush at the end and you've got that beautiful sparkle as well. And then all you need to do is cut those out. I cut out the antennae and I draw them on. So if we look back at this design, and this design, I think I've gone further into the middle than my original, which is nice. It'll be nice to see the two together. So the finishing tricks, the way I do it is I just decide on my butterflies before I stick them down. And sometimes I think just actually almost plonking them, and that's a technical term, isn't it? Plonking. You get a good idea instead of almost looking too much. So we can just put that one there. And actually, just angle that slightly. Right, happy with that. Black fine liner. And I'm going to draw the antennae on. So that one, you can't quite see it, so I'll just move it there. And again there. And it just saves for me having to cut them out. And then what I'm going to do is just pop them to the side before I stick them on. Lovely Stickles, and this is Seafoam, and we're going to do a bit of a dot and dab. So you hear that it can be a bit rude, but we're just going to dot on the foliage. I'm avoiding the flowers, and then I'm just going to dab. So a bit of a dot and dab, and then that way I don't go outside the area. I just want it in that lovely. Now again, if you want it to paint it on, that's fine. If you want more, I just want this to be an accent rather than sort of really in your face, and it's a beautiful green. So now we can pop our butterflies. Bippity Boppity glue, just a little on the back, and then you just have to remember where you drew, and that's the beauty of doing the antennae. And I like to do my Stickles before putting these on, otherwise I find I sort of get in a bit of, it's a bit of which order to do things. Okay, where have the antennae gone for this one? Can anybody see them? I need you to shout out for me. Right, I don't know where they are for that one, so I'll have to work this way around. I know you can probably see them. So funny, isn't it? Sometimes when you're doing things, you don't notice what's right in front of you. Have you ever done that thing where you can't find a stamp, especially the little mini ones, or your little moon mask, and you're doing something and you need it and you can't find it? And quite often I'll say to Carl, oh, I can't find this, what's happening? And he'll come in and he'll say it's here. And it's that thing of I just can't see for looking. So if I come round this way, right. Well, I can't see the antennae here. Can you? Do you think we didn't draw them on? Well, let's just draw some extra. What do we think? Do we want it? Where do we want it? Well, I quite like it in there. So do you know what? I'm going to draw them there. So if you see extra antennae, don't tell me. I like that one in the middle there. So I'm going to add some Posca splats, and I'm going to go for white. I just want a few, almost as highlights. So a good shake, and then again, remember, just tap it there, and I'm going over the butterfly and over the wreath. I'm holding my Posca quite close, just so I get a nice concentration of those lovely white splats. And again, I've done my Stickles first so that my Posca will just go straight on top here. There we go, all the way round. And my final little finishing trick, now I'm going to leave this without a sentiment, but I'm going to come in with the lovely liquid pearls, and this is rose gold. If you haven't used liquid pearls before, again, fabulous product, but just give it a little check out on your mat that it's flowing, which this one is. But then again, my top tip is wipe it up, because if not, you'll forget it was there and you'll put the back of your card or your hand in it. And I'm just going to use this in the middle of the flowers, look. And make a dome and then lift it up. Make a dome, lift it up. And I'm just going to gently go all the way around. Making a little dome. You just slightly touch the card and then lift straight up. And that way you get a nice shape. Now these do take a while to dry. Like with most things, I always think it's overnight. So I would leave it overnight to dry. But when they dry beautiful and hard. They almost look like a gem. They come in lots of colours. Check them out on the website. But if I bring it up, look at that. And it just adds that lovely little finishing trick. Now we've got so many stamps that you can mix and match with this. Now, if I put that there, and I'll bring my original in, look. Just shows you I've done two the same, but slightly different. So this one, I've got a larger space in the middle, and that's just because of how I angled the stamps. But as I say, for me, depending on how I feel, I do things differently each day. This one, I've got more ink as well, more intense colour. I went for a lighter touch today, just to show you the difference. But honestly, these are such fun to make. I know you're going to enjoy them. So if you're one of the lovely crafters that got in touch and told me you'd got the Stamp and Spin for Christmas, please have a go at this, using lots of different combination of stamps, inks, colours, and please tag me in and share. I'd love to see what you create. I just think there's endless things we can create with this. The designs, honestly, and that's just with a basic wreath. We can do half wreath. We can do 3/4 of a wreath. We can, honestly, garlands, hanging. Oh, so much we can do. Pattern building. Oh, I could be here all day. But I won't, I promise. I'm off to make myself a cheeky brew, and I think I deserve a nice little snack. So you take care, enjoy creating, have fun, and be kind to each other. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.